let's talk about writer's block. So writer's block is something that any person in any creative field experiences. And it can be frustrating, it can be demoralizing, it can leave you feeling like, what's the point of any of this at all, right? But what if I told you that writer's block is actually a good thing? What if we could reframe this experience to be a positive one, and one that we actually almost look forward to in a way, which sounds so strange to say, especially when you've actually experienced writer's block in the past. In this video, we're going to talk about how to reframe that, why it's a good thing, and why it's actually a crucial part of your journey as a creative individual. So number one, reframe writer's block as a signal, not as a failure. You see, most times when we come up against writer's block, we view it as some sort of lack of our ability, some sort of failure on our part to maximize on our abilities. But what if it was actually the opposite? What if this writer's block period was actually what led to better abilities? Now, as I said at the beginning, what if we could reframe this experience, and instead of viewing this as a negative thing, when we looked at writer's block for what it is, we see that this is what leads to these greater abilities in ourselves. The reason we don't like writer's block is because most times it leads to a lack of productivity. And in this hyper-productive world, that makes us feel like a failure. Now, instead of it being a failure, it's actually a signal that your creative process is evolving. Well, then that makes it a totally different experience, right? If we think about our brain as a muscle, which it is, your muscles need time to grow after they've gone through heavy loads, heavy workouts, pushing yourself hard in the gym or whatever other endeavor, right? You wake up sore and then eventually your muscles grow. Your brain is the same thing. And when you hit this writer's block period, it is actually your brain going into this needed rest period. Number two, growth happens in the tension. In my last video, we talked about how showing up every single day, no matter what, is what's most important, more than the result, right? And in that period, especially when you're going through a writer's block period, when the work is seemingly invisible, it's not leading to anything. As I said, that is where you're actually trying new things, trying to figure out new solutions to new problems. Because writer's block is essentially you coming up against a wall of trying to solve new problems with old solutions, and that does not work. So instead, in this period, this tension period, that's actually where you're experimenting, pushing yourself, trying new things, figuring out new processes. So this frustration is often what leads to the growth. Number three, breakthroughs often follow frustration. This expands a little bit more on what we just talked about, but another way you could look at writer's block is almost like progressive overload in the gym, right? If you're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're not experiencing any growth. It's only when you start to increase the weight of your exercises or the intensity that you're experiencing this growth. Otherwise, your body, your muscles are not experiencing any tension, and therefore there's no reason for them to grow. Your creativity is the same thing. Doing the same thing over and over and over again is not going to get you anywhere. It's only through pushing yourself and experimenting with new ideas, new concepts, and allowing those processes to sort of incubate that you're actually going to get to these next levels. And number four, embrace it as part of the journey. This is a really important thing to think about. How many times have you been here before in your creative journey? Probably countless. But the thing is, we've for some reason experienced this sort of amnesia about it. We forget that we have been here countless times before. And we think that this is a totally new experience, but it's definitely not. You've been here countless times, and every single time you continue to push through, you got to a new level, and that's where you are now. So understanding that you're going to continuously experience writer's block, which is what leads to continuous growth, reframing it in this way is going to help you become even more productive. And you can view these writer's blocks as an exciting period because, again, this is what is going to help you break through to the next level. If you're interested in improving your artistic abilities, working one-on-one with me, as I've worked with over 100 different students all across the board at every different level, the link is in the description, and I will see you in the next video.